And I think that when he stepped back, it's not because he's afraid, because he has a battle history. It's because he was being true to himself. And I think it's a very big fucking disgrace that the Black American community has come to the point where if you're not a Savage or a Spartan, you're not relevant.
At Tupac, you had the whole Native Tongues clique, but all of those people kind of did it in a reactionary way, like they were responding to the gangster image and therefore felt the need to put more emphasis on it. With Cole, it's so organic.
I totally believe that J. Cole is not going anywhere, obviously.
That boy ain't going nowhere.
I mean, that's the rapper that talks about his mom losing a crib, his mom going into doing drugs or something like that, you know. Like he's went too personal in this shit, so it's just hard for him to just go out of character and be something else that he knows he's not, you know.
I do believe that, you know, J. Cole is definitely a rapper of substance because of the authenticity, like Fellow said, and also his ability to be vulnerable in his songs. I mean, Love Yours, where he talks about the struggles of fame, and also, which one is this one I'm thinking of? False Prophets that viewers spoke about, where he expresses his disappointment in Kanye. I think it was about Kanye West, right?
Yeah.
It was this disappointment in Kanye, right?
A whole lot of other rappers,
Yeah, and we all love Kanye,
like,
but
the main rapper was Kanye. Like his ability to just express his vulnerability in songs, I just find that it's very substantial, you know, it's very authentic. And in this era of hip hop that we're in, not many rappers can do that.
So today we're going to talk about J. Cole. I want to start off with the controversy about him because it's always good to start off with a controversy. A couple of years ago, J. Cole apologized for taking a shot at Kendrick Lamar, and he said that he didn't mean to do it, and he said Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest. And all over the U.S., everybody joked J. Cole for months that he's weak, he's a loser and everything. But what I want to say is that no, he's not weak, he's not a loser. The rap industry has created a hyper-masculine atmosphere in which it's totally battle. There's nothing wrong with battle or being hyper-masculine, but it has no room for anything else. And by attacking him that way, I think they influenced him in a way in which he started to get out of his zone of being authentic. Because J. Cole is a sensitive person. He's very sensitive, but at the same time, he has a devil and an angel in him. I know he talked about having addiction problems. He's probably had some violence problems with his baby's mom or whatever. But whatever he does, he's clear and open about it, and he doesn't judge anybody. So I think you're waving your head. So what do you think, Mehmet? Yeah.
You know, I feel like the reason why he didn't get involved with the beef is because he has like a very specific agenda, right? He wants to inspire people. That doesn't necessarily assign with, you know, going to beef with Kendrick Lamar or getting involved.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he did it out of fear. I think he did it out of him checking himself because he realized he was beginning to lose himself. And he struggled with, he's hinted that he struggled. He hasn't said it directly with suicide ideation and depression. And I think that comes from him getting into the pocket where he even got to a point where he was trying to make trap beats and be a trap rapper and do mumble, which wasn't him. And he was trying to please people like 50 Cent, who said, oh, I'm not going to take him on my label because he's not hard enough. And I think that's what it was. And I think that when he stepped back with Kendrick, it's not because he's afraid, because he has a battle history. It's because he was being true to himself. And I think it's a very big fucking disgrace that the Black American community has come to the point where if you're not a Savage or a Spartan, you're not relevant. I'm going to use an off point. When somebody tried to shoot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot, people were laughing about it. We've come to the point where the Black community in the U.S. has become genocidal. And it tells, the industry tells you can only have one type of voice. From there, I'm going to jump. So I think he's allowing them to bully him into putting their voice, because like you said on the one we were having discourse, you said that he's authentic. He's authentic at all costs, because he's a process writer. He writes every morning and starts with the flow. Then he always has a hook because he's a very good producer. To me, he's a better producer than Kendrick Lamar. He's not a better rhythmic avatar. He's not able to do rhythmic complexity, but he's a better producer. In his music, he has gospel sound, and he also has a blues tonality, which is next to none. But I think at one point he might have been letting these people bullying him into becoming into that hyper atmosphere.
As we've like established the premise of rap being so hypermasculine, well, the hypermasculine roots of rap are pretty logical and understandable. Think of how it began, you know, Black men feeling threatened in America, feeling like they had to bring that defensive, ultra aggressive tonality about how they bring themselves across, and just for the fact that they grew up in the streets and this is what they know. But I think one thing I loved about J. Cole, the moment I discovered him from his mixtape, is you could see that he was trying to subvert something that I think a lot of rappers don't realize. The fact that rappers tend to center the music around themselves. Like, it's one thing to be the art, but it's another to totally your audience on a journey that doesn't extend beyond you. So one of the first things that I loved about Cole was he made it about something beyond him. The whole Cole world thing was him being a kind of a point to the commentary society in general. So I've always loved how Cole tries to make his music about more than him. He doesn't make it a whole personality and drive it just to be the basis of he being the end all be all of the sound.
Part of the problem with J. Cole's music is that it might be a little bit too uplifting to the point where it doesn't have tension. He has tension on his view of human beings because he doesn't judge the victim or the victimizer. He sees everybody as people who are under pressure. He speaks about he alludes to Steez jumping off of a building and saying that Steez jumped off of a building and killed himself. I didn't, but we were both under pressure. So he focuses on what causes people to do their behaviors and not on their moral character, which is okay. But I think he might need to get a little bit more personal with his music and get to a complex area, which Kendrick Lamar has. But I think the person who balances it the best is Kanye West. Kanye West mixes gospel with the devil, both of them together. But his music is still uplifting at the same time. Kendrick Lamar's music is not uplifting. So Kanye West has a gift of saying,
It used to be uplifting.
Yeah, he said, I sent a dick picture to my friend. He's telling you the bad shit he does, but he elevates it. He says, you can't have Rome without Caesar and everything. So he's a narcissist and a saint at the same time. I think J. Cole needs to tap into his narcissism more, but he shouldn't let the industry tell him how to do that. We'll get back to you, Alexis, but we're going to go to Too Much Beer, to Fellow. Fellow, what are your thoughts of what we said so far?
Yeah. Too much beer is the code of the day.
I'm tapping into my demon right here. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hey man, birthday boy, you gotta do you, bro. So yeah. Hey, J. Cole is a hard one, you know. I mean, he's an introspective kind of cat. You know,
he's hyper introspective, yes.
He's ambitious, you know, you could hear it in his raps. You know, one thing I'd say is, you know, when it comes to rap, hey, apologies aren't a friendly thing.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. So I get like the musical point of things. You see where J. Cole responded to the beef thing with his song. The apology is something else, although. You know, he shouldn't have apologized for that.
I'm going to agree with you. Sorry to interrupt you. He should have just kept quiet because the apology is not part of the performance. You don't have to just let the fans decide. Part of the performance. So he needs to separate his personal life from his performative life. He could have just kept quiet about it and not said anything. I think that would have been better. What do you think, Fellow?
Yeah, I think he should have just kept quiet and let the fans decide. You know, and obviously we were all on the tip that it's a nice song, but it's mid. It's not like a diss song, you know. It's just him telling them that I got it if you want it, you know.
Yeah. And trust me, he got it because that guy has a battle history. He's very good, but I think his conscience wasn't allowing him to do that. So I think he needs to move on and stop connecting himself with these guys in the industry and create his own work independently. Yeah.
Like Vina just said, bro, I feel like J. Cole is like the Bob Marley of rap.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the Bob Marley of rap, and he's trying to keep that narrative, I think, until the end of time. You know?
Yeah.
He's trying to.
Who's that other guy? There's another rapper, Mavu. What's his name? Mavi. See, Mavi doesn't talk to these people. He does his own shit. He does his own shit, but he doesn't talk about those people. He focuses, he stays in his lane. I think that's what J. Cole, but I think J. Cole wants to please all these guys because he wants record deals, but he's rich enough now in which he can go independent like Mavi. What are your thoughts, Alexis? Yeah.
Mavi's a good artist.
I think I'm going to agree with Fellow when it comes to him responding to not responding, but like putting out a track apologizing to Kendrick, just that was just an ass move. Like, why would you do that? Like,
Yes.
if you feel bad, just keep quiet. Keep it
Yeah,
to
and then talk to
yourself.
him. You can tell him
Let
personally.
it be.
Yeah.
Let it be. Like,
Yeah,
there's
I
no
agree with
need
you.
to go and apologize publicly.
Yeah, I agree with you
Like,
absolutely. So I think that might have been a mistake that he made because Kendrick Lamar is, I mean, not Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole is he's a process writer, so he involves us in his notes and in his thoughts and things. But I think as an artist, you have to have a finished product in which you don't show that part sometimes because it's not necessary.
yeah,
Like there's a lot of times
I
I
also
do
feel
think that
like
people,
he's easily swayed though. Like he's
yeah,
easily
he's white because he's
moved by
trying to
what's
belong.
happening in the
I don't know if it's
industry.
because his mom is white and he feels he has to belong to prove he's black by being in with these guys from the streets. But to me, he needs to just
Yeah.
focus, just be who you are. Like as much as we diss Drake, Drake doesn't apologize for who he is. No matter how much you diss him, he doesn't apologize for who he is. What are your thoughts, Mehmet? Then we'll get back to Fellow. Yeah.
You know, I think it was a little naive, right? The fact that I think he thought that the apology was going to be received in like a different way than it actually was.
So in other words, he's kissing their
ass.
Right?
Yeah.
Type of sentimentality.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think, but I think I'm not going to punish him for that. It's a learning lesson. That's why I said maybe in a month or two we'll do a show saying J. Cole needs to channel his dark side and needs to become more aggressive. Because also I'm a writer, but I'm a nice person. You've seen me cry before and
I
stuff.
mean, he
But,
is aggressive.
It's going to be performative. Yeah, it's going to be performative. But everything I'm going to do is for the performance. It's not going to be to please people and like them like you. Because one thing I've learned about this life, once you start caring what people think about you, you're finished. Perfect example. Future doesn't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about him. What do you think, Fellow? He doesn't give a shit about what anybody thinks about him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think? He's the toxic genius, right? Go ahead.
Nah, he's one of the greatest writers of our times, bro.
Oh yeah, he's a blues man. We'll talk about that. Him and sorry to cut in front of you, but him and Kodak Black are bluesmen. Yeah, but continue. I'll let you go now.
The greatest, bro. So when it comes to J. Cole, bro, I'm gonna say homie is consistent, bro, when it comes to writing.
Yeah.
I mean, we started off 2007, I think, with the come up or the warm up, I don't remember, you know, and then homie got signed in 2009 and then dropped the sidelines.
My dad called me for my birthday, so my son would take the helm. Okay, keep on, talk. Okay.
Aight. Yeah, and then he got signed in 2009 and gave us sidelines, and it's been classic since, you know. It's been like a nice drive.
No. His recent album was a flop though.
Yeah.
That trap album that he released.
Yeah, no problem.
I can't even remember. I can't even recall one song from that album.
Which one?
I'm checking on you. Okay.
That one where it was like a trap.
Nah, bro, that was nice, bro. If you're talking about this later.
Later.
It was kind of like a flop.
It's a flop.
Wait, let me check. Wait, let's see.
Bro, if you're talking about Might Delete Later, shit was a classic, bro. Shit is a classic.
All right, so I'm jumping in. So are they saying that his new album is a flop? I'll have to listen to it because I'm out of the loop lately. I've only been listening to jazz.
That's the same album with the D song that was deleted.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mehmet, what was the song you were talking about J. Cole before?
Off Season.
You know, For Your Eyes Only, the one he released in
I'm talking about the Off Season.
Off Season was great. Yeah. The last album. Yeah, Off Season was when he was going through issues with addiction and stuff, and he said he had to.
That's the one before the last album.
Yeah. All right, continue. You guys continue. I'm enjoying hearing what you're saying. So what are you saying, Fellow? Yeah.
Hey, man, I was saying homie is consistent. You know how he came up from the come up to his current works to like Clouds, his latest single. You know,
yeah.
So
and one good thing
about.
I
listened to Clouds yesterday.
What do you think?
What did you think? Yeah.
It was really good. It was really good. I didn't expect. It was an unexpected release for me. I was like, oh, he released something, okay, but it was really insightful.
Yeah, but I think in general though, J. Cole has the problem that all artists have. Kanye has it. You have to continually reinvent yourself. So he can't keep doing the same thing over. He has to find a new angle. And a lot of people dissed Kanye West's gospel album, but I actually liked it, Donda and all that.
You know, that was great. Yeah,
Donda was good, but it was different. So I think that what J. Cole should do is to take some time. What were you going to say, Fellow? Go ahead. Yeah.
I think people only dissed it online, but personally, people just listen to it, bro.
Oh, that shit was
I've
good.
I've never personally met someone that said, this album is a flop. This album is bad. Everyone was having favorite songs from the album.
Oh yeah. Well,
but online, when I get online, people are saying, this shit is trash. This shit is bad.
No, they're trying to sound like they're elite. Like, you know how elite people like to sound like music is specialized. They're trying to make themselves look like they're special. But we know we like that music. Yeah, we know we love it.
So I feel like online reviews sometimes would lead people astray. You know, people would just feel like shit is bad out there, but when they put their ears to it and feel different,
they be like, this shit is bumping. Like, even me, I was dissing J. Cole's song, Not Like Us, because it's shallow. It is shallow, but I was listening to the beats and his rhythmic flow. I said, man, this shit is bad, man. I don't care if old white women dancing is bad. But I will say that he doesn't have the same type of content that J. Cole has, or Kanye, or even other people like the Kodak Blacks and Cole, because they stick to it. I think that Kendrick Lamar is a very skilled rapper, but I think he will never show you who he really is. He'll just give you super production.
He's a Gemini.
He's a Gemini.
He's a two-faced.
Yeah, he's two-faced. And that's my only complaint with him, is that he'll give you very good rhythmic, but he'll never, like when you hear Day Night Like Us, it's so vague that it could be anybody, but he doesn't take a stand. Whereas J. Cole, even if J. Cole's music may be slightly whack at times, I don't think it's whack. You know who he is and you know where he stands. Also, you know where Future stands. You know where Migos stands. You know where Drake stands, whether you like it or not. You don't know where Kendrick Lamar stands, and I feel that Kendrick Lamar is being manipulated by the record industry to be a blank slate. I want to hear what he has to say. He's not personal enough. What are your thoughts, Alexis? Then we'll go to Fellow. Yeah.
Wait, what do you feel like he's not personal enough? Like, I want to ask you, like,
I think he's off. He's having a problem.
Yeah.
You're good. Okay. Go ahead. You said you do agree that he's not personal enough, or you think he is personal enough? Yeah.
I feel like he is personal enough. I mean, kind of
what is he saying
personal enough.
Like us? Give me one line where he's saying something that's specific. It's so general. It's very general. Yeah. But in the past, he's been like when he had songs like, remember Poetic Justice, where him and Drake were together. So I think Kendrick Lamar is hiding himself because, you know, he had depression too and thought about suicide. So I think there may be some thing where he's putting a gap between him and the rest of the audience. But I mean, so you disagree. So what would you have to say about that? Yeah.
That's a really good question.
I think
like
he's a very good
I've heard songs like
Kendrick Lamar is like a drummer. He can give you any rhythm. He can chop up syllables. He can take a bar and break it into 15 pieces and make it sound great. He can give you great sound. But lately, he hasn't had a message. He doesn't have a concrete message. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know how I feel about Kendrick, bro.
Yeah.
He has the ability to tell anyone's story.
Yeah,
he can tell stories. Yeah, sort of like Nas. He can tell stories.
And it's hard to actually tell if the story he's telling is his or it's just him standing on someone's shoes.
And
that's why I said he's not personal. That's what I meant. But he's a good storyteller.
Yeah, same thing with Nas. Yeah, I was gonna say Nas almost has the same problem where like he's almost like overly methodical. Yeah. Mythological.
Overly mythological. Yes.
Yeah, rather than speaking to his own personal issues sometimes.
Yeah, like because Nas, we all know Nas was when he came out. He's the J. Cole he's the Kendrick Lamar of his era. Fantastic writing, able to break up his lyrics into parts. A technician with breaking up bars, inverting them, creating sound. But he always talks about the streets, everything. But if you listen to Nas's music, there's no personal history in his music at all. If you listen to Kanye, you know he sent dick pictures. He's a fool. He likes doing this and that. But if you ask from Kendrick Lamar's music, who is he? I think you would hear it from his first albums when he was talking about coming out from Compton. But lately, he's cloaked himself.
Even that is like a bit vague.
Yeah, I think you're stronger than that. I would agree. So let's switch places a little bit. So, Fellow, you came up with the idea of the title that J. Cole has substance and his music has content. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah. Hey, so I started listening to J. Cole, I think, during the Sidelines era, you know, when he was talking about $1 and a dream.
Yeah, Dollar, you sound like you right now. Go ahead, yeah.
You know, so
that's when he was hungry. He was hungry.
He's always been hungry, bro. That's like one thing about him. That's why I said he's ambitious as fuck, bro. Like throughout the albums or the music he's dropped, you could tell like bro is he's looking for a spot at the top. You know, during the Lil Wayne eras, during the J. Cole eras, even the Kendrick eras, he's been like consistently looking for a spot at the top. And when he finally got it, he apologized for for being there. You know,
like, I think he's a little more satisfied now. That's why he's willing to go back out of that conflict because he's gotten to where he wants to. You know.
Yeah. So here's what I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. I think that Kendrick Lamar is so hungry that he doesn't care about the message. He just cares about arriving in the spot. Do you get my point?
Yeah, that part is a competitive part of hip hop. I think he's a competitive MC. He's not really much of a rapper or so, but he could be a competitive MC that got into the rap game. You know,
but the problem is you can become so competitive that you become like a communist machine. Like communism.
Yeah,
it's not about
but when it comes to J. Cole, bro, these songs like Lost Ones, these songs like I said, $1 in a Dream, these songs like what's that the one that the ladies love now,
which one?
Luther.
Nothing better than your life. What's that?
Yeah, but he has another
Nothing
song.
better than your life.
SZA is my favorite singer. He's using SZA now to bring emotion to his music. If this world were mine, he's becoming an R&B singer, which is not bad. But his sound, I think he's going towards more emotional music yet. But he's still not saying anything personal. But what's the one you're talking about, fellow? Yeah.
We're talking about Love Yours.
Wait, what?
J. Cole song.
Are you talking about J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick, I was talking about J. Cole.
So, viewer, what I was saying is that Kendrick Lamar has feeling. He can be a blues man. He can do gospel.
Yeah.
He has the roots, just like J. Cole, he has the roots of black music, which is soul. But he's refined it to a mechanical point, probably for commercial reasons to get to the top. But he might be coming back. So can you rewind and talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine where I was kind of looking at his trajectory. He began as the backpacker who transformed into the pop friendly cultural lyricist, and that entered the door for the more conscious direction, which he's pretty much still in. He's milking the shit out of being the voice of rap's conscious. And I think
don't forget about Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi is the most backpacker of all. That's my hero.
Right. So I think I really think Kendrick in this kind of the last chapter of his career, because they're all Cole, Drake, Kendrick are pretty much in what I call it the fade out. There's the blow up. There's the blow up, there's the come up, and they're kind of in there fading out like a star when it dies finally, and it becomes the catalyst for another universe. So I think where Kendrick feels like he might go into that R&B place, a more soulful place. He might start to play into more delicate melodies and harmonies. Because he's done everything else. What else is there but that?
And this is funny because remember, you know me, I'm a softie. You remember I'd be in my bed listening to SZA. I'm like emo, and I was like, I love SZA. I hate you. You dumb me. And we gotta talk about SZA because SZA can rap. She can rap and she can do R&B. And to me, she has the most beautiful expression. She may not have a pristine voice, but she's a feeler. And she's been working very closely with Kendrick Lamar now. She's been working very closely. And I think those guys are going to make some beautiful music. What do you think, Alexis? Yeah.
You know what? I just had this thought that actually Kendrick Lamar reminds me of Kanye West, like the versatility that they both have. The experimentation of blues, soul, R&B, like they're actually so similar.
Yeah, and they have different phases and everything. And this is the thing about black music. At the end of the day, you know me, V-Way, you read the stuff I wrote on African music. It's blues and polyrhythm and soul. Some of the, I think Kendrick Lamar uses more polyrhythm than any rapper that we're talking about in the mainstream. What do you think, V-Way? But he also has and when he's ready, but he's getting to the point where he's getting so soulful that he's doing R&B. And to me, that's not bad. And even Drake is a singer and has this R&B. So to me, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Kanye are sort of like on the spectrum. I think Kanye West is more of pure soul rather than blues.
You know, it's ironic that you talk about, you know, the polyrhythm, and to kind of like bring it back to Cole. One of the things I always value about Cole is that rap, the tradition of the griot, the storyteller, is dying in rap music.
And that's what
J. Cole is one of the last living rap storytellers. He's a griot. He's in that tradition. Because again, he doesn't make it about himself. He becomes like this conduit for people's stories. He tells the hood stories. He tells the intimate stories. He tells the spiritual stories. So that's my thing about J. Cole, which with this whole big three thing.
Nas talks about
he's a successor to that. He's definitely, and that's why the whole moment with Nas was so important for me, because when Nas didn't like his album, it hurt him because he's from that school of thought. And most rappers would respond aggressively to that, like, yo, fuck Nas, he's old anyway, what does he know? J. Cole made a whole love letter confessing how it hurts that his hero doesn't respect his offering.
That's why I say J. Cole is a confessional. He's a confessional poet. Yeah, he's a confessional
that
poet.
In itself, for me, that's still my top 5 favorite moments in rap history. I'd never heard or seen anything like that. You know, you expect beef, you expect some, bickering, but no, and he turned it into something intimate. He turned it into a dialogue, and I mean, gotta love Cole for that.
Okay, Marin has something to say.
Yeah, that's tied to like it's in the same vein of why he kind of backed out of the beef with Kendrick and Drake, right?
No, because he's empathic and sensitive. Yeah, you want to continue?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Oh yeah, here's what I want to say. Let's not forget the first storyteller, Slick Rick.
Oh yeah,
Slick Rick. Yeah. So I think what we're saying is that all of these guys are complex and different from each other. Kanye West is not so much as a storyteller; he's more of a preacher. But at the same time, he's a preacher. He doesn't judge, and you see that within Kendrick Lamar, within J. Cole, he doesn't judge. Because I'll go back. J. Cole alluded to the fact that Steez, who I think, to me, Steez is still my favorite rapper of all time. Steez jumped off of a building. We don't need to know why he jumped up, why he did. And he also said, I could have committed suicide. It's not a matter of why I didn't. It's a matter of why were we in this situation. And he said it's because we're under pressure. And I think that's the Black experience. What do you think, V-Way? Then we'll go to Fellas. Fellas like, what the hell am I here for, man? I ain't got to talk for 20 minutes yet. What do you think, V-Way?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, J. Cole's role in rap is profoundly important because I think he is the necessary bridge to take rappers into that place, which I think it's inevitable either way. I mean, we can't keep going on like this. Rap, if rap is going to become trapped in this hyper masculine place as an art form, it'll never go anywhere.
But the number one rap now in the world is drill music, but it's suicidal. Drill music, suicide. But it's the number one. I like that because the rhythm is complex, but it's suicide. We can't continue going that way.
Right. Right. And I mean, people like Cole help become the bridge between that and something a little bit more conscientious, something more self-aware, something a little bit more, something a little bit more reflective. I mean, it's not like Cole is the only person doing this, but he's the only person doing it in the mainstream. I sent you a status. I tagged you on a status. I once wrote on Facebook about how J. Cole is not actually, he's not doing anything nobody hasn't ever done before. He's not the first.
He's making himself a sacrificial lamb because he's showing a sensitive side, which the masculine Black community is not ready to accept. So they're jeering him on, but he's persistently doing it, and it's beginning to make a change. Yeah.
And I think, lastly, the reason why it's so powerful, he's not the first one to try and do it. I mean, you had the Will Smith.
Did it a little bit.
You had you had Tupac. You had the whole Native Tongues clique, but all of those people kind of did it in a reactionary way, like they were responding to the gangster image and therefore felt the need to put more emphasis on that. With Cole, it's so organic.
Also,
He's not
Q-Tip.
responding to anything.
Q-Tip is also a
It's just
flexible
who he
guy.
is.
Q-Tip too. Q-Tip to a certain degree with the stuff he did, like with Janet Jackson and
Yeah,
Cole.
yeah. But all
Okay,
of that
thank you.
still felt a little bit reactionary, and I mean, Cole is
It's not
organically like that.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to this is the beer again, to fellow, but I want to link everything. So Cole is a process rapper in which he shows you everything you do, and you see that he's a saint. And one of the things he doesn't do is, like, even with the song Crooked Smile, where he shows you the white guy that killed his daughter for a drug deal, he doesn't judge you. He shows you how all of society is a victim of chaos.
Right.
Which is what you need for healing. Because once you start saying, oh, whites are white supremacists or black males are this, you bring tension and it doesn't make us heal. So he's doing this. So now we're going to come back to what you fellow who came up with this idea for the show. Fellow, what are your ideas? And let's go back and double down on the fact that J. Cole is a rapper of substance, to the point where he will even be a sacrificial lamb in which people could make fun of him. But as much as they make fun of him, he's still relevant and he's not going anywhere. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally believe that J. Cole is not going anywhere, obviously.
That boy ain't going nowhere.
I mean, come on, bro. Yeah.
No, he's too talented. To me, he's one of the top 3 producers in rap. His musical sense is fantastic, and his vision is fantastic. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the rapper that talked about his mom losing a crib, his mom going into doing drugs or something like that. You know, like he's went too personal in this shit, so it's just hard for him to just go out of character and be something else that he know he's not. You know,
authentic, super authentic. Yeah,
he's not a gangster, obviously. You know, but he's not too far off from gangsters. You know, he's been around gangsters.
He's not a gangster, but he's a battle rapper. If you try to fuck with J. Cole, if he wants to, he can cut you to pieces, but he won't.
Definitely. I mean, he's a New Yorker, bro. You know, and he's got the spirit of a New Yorker in him, bro. You know, so that's just about it, bro. Homie has his real stories that everyone can totally relate to, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, from
black music. And we got to go back. It was him, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to also add Kanye West. They were really the 4 people who have been very influential the past 12 years. So let's go to Alexa. Any last thoughts on when we were talking together on notes before the show? You said that you really love J. Cole's inspiration and his authenticity. Can you speak to a little bit about that and how it's very important for us to grow as Black people all over the world? You're in Mpumalanga, they're in Joburg, and Soweto. I think you're in Pretoria, right? Yeah. And we're here in the land of Black Death, America. So take us out. Take us out. Take us out.
Babylon.
Yeah, we're in Babylon.
Yeah. I do believe that, J. Cole is definitely a rapper of substance because of the authenticity, like Fellow said, and also his ability to be vulnerable in his songs. I mean, Love Yours, where he talks about the struggles of fame, and also, which one is this one I'm thinking of? False Prophets that viewers spoke about, where he expresses his disappointment in Kanye. I think it was about Kanye West, right?
Yeah.
It was this disappointment in Kanye, right?
A whole lot of other rappers, yeah.
Yeah, and we all love Kanye, but we're all
disappointed. The main rapper was Kanye. Like his ability to just express his vulnerability in songs, I just find that it's very substantial, it's very authentic.
Yeah.
And in this era of hip hop that we're in, not many rappers can do that like that.
No, they can't.
They can't. Also, when there are dark issues happening in America, it's not that much rappers that will put out a song that you will deeply connect with and will make you, how can I put this? Make you feel that connection to the event that would have happened to spark that song.
A sort of super empathy.
Only J. Cole can do that.
Yeah, he had me crying.
I was watching,
I was watching.
Like Be Free. Have you listened to Be Free?
No.
Yeah, I listened to Be Free.
I had to listen
that
to
really
it.
made me emotional. I was like, wow. So like his ability to just be vulnerable and show social awareness in his songs just makes him, a rapper of substance.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna lie, you see me crying. Listen to J. Cole. Like you're not looking right now, man. Yeah, he's not the only person, but yeah. So we could keep talking on and on, but I want to thank you guys. So now we are a team. This is the four of us. We're going to be coming once a month on Community TV Africa. We haven't come up with the name for our show, but it's hip hop based and cultural based on doing it for the culture, as V-Way like said. This is for the culture. I want to thank you guys, and I want to say I love all of you. I'm going to say to my friends who I've known for a long time, me and Fellow have known each other for 9 years. So, Fellow, I want you to take us out for the show today, please. Yeah, we know on Facebook. And we're very close because we're both writers. We wanted to start a company called Zero Books because we're losers. We're zero. We're losers. But that's and we embrace the fact that we're losers because fuck everybody else. We're fucking losers. Take us out, Fellow, and thank you for coming up with this show. Yeah. And
hey,
also,
bro,
thank you, also, me and V-Way Joker have argued about to the point where we've even almost become enemies about rap and stuff. So we love each other. All right. So take us out, Fellow.
Hey, bro, happy birthday. I'd like to say to everyone, I mean, we all listen to J. Cole, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, yeah, okay. So I'd like to say to everyone, go listen to his latest offering, which is
Clouds.
Not Clouds, the album. Might delete it, might delete later.
You might delete this later, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. And maybe next time when we have our conversations and we could like touch base on that and yeah.
So yeah, so next month we might do that. We'll do 2 shows. We'll do the J. Crew and then we'll do that one also. Thank you guys. Love you. Stay blessed. I'll be texting you guys after the show to talk about some other things.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us too. I put it on Facebook. I said, I'm looking for someone, and you're the only person that had that. I want to ball, but you had the metaphorical balls. Yeah, I'm in. And she's going to do our thumbnail. The thumbnail is fantastic. Thank you guys. We're out of here. Okay.
Thank you. It's been beautiful.
Beautiful, guys. Beautiful.